YouTube, what's up, boys? We are bringing back Theme Team rankings, and we are bringing back the Theme Team spreadsheet, as you could see right here. I'll have the link in the description below if you guys want to look at it on your own time, kind of dissect the information a little bit more than you can just by watching this video, however long it may be. Yeah, it'll be linked down below. So the first thing we're going to go through is our tier system. Let's dive into the spreadsheet. Right here, you see my cursor. I've separated the ranking system by position. So this whole group right here is quarterbacks. We have the list of theme teams right here. We have their score right here. And we have their quarterback depicted underneath the tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and tier 0 right here. So for example, we look at the Bears theme team, right? Who's their quarterback? William Perry the Fridge, that LTD from Christmas. He would be a tier 3 player, meaning best in the game, one of the best in the game. A tier 2 player, if we look at the Buccaneers theme team, Baker Mayfield. And tier 2 is depicted as not the best, but still good, still usable pretty much. Then we go to tier 1. We look at the Bills theme team. They have unstoppable Josh Allen. And tier 1 is a card that I would avoid using. Like going into a sweaty game with Josh Allen at quarterback probably isn't a great idea. But he still kind of gets the job done. And then tier 0 is unusable. The Commanders theme team still has RG3 Campus Hero from September. You can't use that card in today's game. So that's how I broke down the positions, and a very simple point system. Tier 3 gets 3 points, tier 1 gets 1 point, tier 2 gets 2 points, and tier 0 gets 0 points. So at the end of doing all the different position groups, I compiled a score. And I'll leak the rankings real quick. If you literally just came here for the rankings, you can pause the video. The rankings are right here in reverse order. So 1 is at the bottom, and then 2, and then 3. So I compiled their score. I did offensive line, defensive tackles, cornerbacks, edge rushers, lurk artists, so user basically, safeties, tight end, receiver 1, 2, and 3, running backs, and quarterback. So basically every position besides like kicker and punter. Every position that matters is ranked for every theme team, which is color-coded, all nice. The score is a little bit darker on the right hand side, always on the right hand side. And then we've got the rankings right here, which are also color coded in a tier 3, 2, 1, and 0. Best in the game, not the best, but still really good, usable, and then really not usable. If you're going to go, remember, these are all 50 out of 50 pure theme teams. You can use, you can obviously use the team captains that get all chemistries for any holes in the team, like safety, Eric Berry, middle linebacker, Channing Crowder, tight end, Jordan Reed. But I just did the pure theme teams, the one on MuttGG. And then right here we have some cool categories that I'm going to go through after I go through probably like the top 10 theme teams, or maybe just the tier 1 and tier 2 theme teams. I'm not going to go through every single one because that would be like a 2-hour long video. But this also will be a weekly installment on the channel, probably on the weekend, because that's when we get all of our content for the week. So I can, update it, go through all the new cards that came out this week, put them into the system, and then kind of adjust the rankings just like that. And I mean, it's pretty solid weekly installment. Like I said, I'll have the link to this down in the description so you guys can view it on your own time. And yeah, let's just get into it. If you are having trouble building a new theme team, this is an asset for you. This is a huge asset, free, no cost. No cost. All I ask is that you like the video. I mean, it's not crazy. This did not take me 5 minutes. This took me a good amount of time. I don't want to say how much time because I really just get lost doing it. I get in my bag and I just go. So we went through the tiers, we went through the teams, we went through how I rank the players, the point system. I will clear up a couple things. Lurk artist. Lurk artist is just a user and the ranking system is different. So what I did was I compiled a list of all of the players that get lurk artist, right? Which is an amazing ability. Linebackers or Randy Moss corner get lurk artists. If you have 2 lurk artists, you get 1 point, like on a theme team. So the 49ers have Randy Moss and Fred Warner. There's 2 lurk artists, they get 1 point. And then on a team like the Broncos that only has 1 lurk artist, Kenneth Murray, division champion, they get 0.5. They only have 1, they get 0.5. And a team like the Bengals, they have no lurk artists, they get 0. So that is the only different grading system. There is kind of another small little grading system for position groups where I only did 2 players. So let's say safety, right? The Buccaneers have 2 tier 3 safeties, so they get 3 points. The Dolphins have 2 tier 2 safeties, so they get 2 points. However, the Cowboys have a tier 3 and a tier 2 safety, so they get 2.5 points. If that makes sense, it's the same grading system. It's just that some positions, like tight end, I only graded 1 tight end per theme team. Safeties, I graded 2. Edge rushers, I graded 2. Corners, I graded 2. The point system changes a little bit. We get the half points, and some teams get 0. And that could be a little confusing. Another thing I'll go through, I switched things up a little bit in the grading system. For a tier 3 offensive line on the theme team, I said 3 or more 90+ overall cards would equal tier 3. 2 90+ overalls on the offensive line would equal tier 2. Only 1 90 overall or higher card on the offensive line would equal tier 1, and 0 is tier 0. So the 49ers have 3 or more, they get 3 points. The Bears have 3 or more, they get 3 points. The Bengals only have 190 overall, so they get 1 point. Very simple. And then finally, the last thing that I am going through before we actually get into the bare bones of the rankings is defensive tackles. So for defensive tackles, I graded 2 on each team. However, if there's a defensive tackle on the theme team that gets 1 AP inside stuff, I counted that as a tier 3 theme team. So like the Eagles with Jalen Carter, that is a tier 3 theme team, no matter what their second defensive tackle is. However, that's kind of a bad example. We'll go with the Rams. The Rams don't have a second defensive tackle, but Aaron Donald is so good with that discounted inside stuff and even the X Factor for his AKA card. They're just going to get a tier 3 grade. That's kind of just my grading system changing with the discounted abilities. Discounted abilities will be a little bit harder to grade for some of these positions. We'll have to make adjustments, but it shouldn't be too hard, and that is in the future. We're going to worry about right now the rankings for the best theme teams. We're going to start by going through this group right here, the tier 3 theme teams, starting off with the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles the Eagles right now sitting at a base price of 12.4 million coins. And another thing I want to say is we can get this price down for any of these theme teams. Like obviously you don't need some of the maxed out backups like Deshaun Jackson and Chris Carter. We delete those 2 cards and you're already down to 11.8, and you can do that for a bunch of other cards. Look, we're down to 10.4 already, and I took out a couple cards and we're at 9.6. So you can do that and, you know, adjust the price. 8.37, move Smith over, take Smith out, we're at 7.3. So just because you see the 12 million coins on MutGG doesn't mean that you can't build a budget version of the theme team and still have a really good team. However, for the sake of saving time in this video, we're just going to use the base maxed out team. Eagles take the 1 spot by a half a point, I believe. Yeah, Eagles are at 23.5 points. The Niners are at 22.5 total points. And remember, these rankings can change by a single card getting dropped in the game. The Eagles definitely lose some points at offensive line. They only have 190+. We've got Goddard, who's decent. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Mac Hollins. Definitely a plethora of receivers to choose from. Quarterback and running back, Michael Vick. You can use them both if you wanted to get both of them. Fun fact, William Perry's also really good. Commonly known that the Eagles have the best theme team in the game, and we'll be giving them an update soon on the channel. Cornerbacks are all solid. Kevin Byard, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Brian Dawkins, Harold Carmichael, Lurk Artist is going to get 3 points, especially for 0 AP Lurk Artist. But yeah, there's really nothing to talk about for the Eagles. A really good theme team that you can never go wrong with building. However, they're going to be pretty expensive to maintain and keep up with. Quite unrealistic for the common player to build a maxed out theme team unless you're just like that. Unless you're Himothy. And second place, only 1 point behind the Eagles theme team, is the 49ers theme team. We've got 3 90+ offensive linemen. We've got Vernon Davis, Randy Moss, Deebo Samuel, Deion Sanders. Receivers are really good. Christian McCaffrey, you could use the free version of Frank Gore if you get your team captain all the way upgraded. But where they fall behind is quarterback. Still at 90 overall, Joe Montana. That could probably change soon. Maybe Brock Purdy gets an upgrade, or Steve Young, or we get like Colin Kaepernick in the game. I highly doubt it. 91 overall, fully maxed out. Probably a 92 by now with all the chem boosts, because that's the one thing MutGG does not account for, is when these players get 50 out of 50, their overall gets boosted, obviously, because it's a theme team. That is really just their base card overall. Strat cards, 50 out of 50 boost is not accounted for on MutGG. But the defense is also really good. We got Fred Warner, Lurk Artist. Safeties are solid. I'll give them a solid. Could use a new Ronnie Lott card. Corners are really good. The depth at corner is definitely strong on this team. Once again, similar theme. One of the best theme teams in the game. Not too far behind first place. Always in the discussion for one of the best theme teams. 49ers. Lots of legends. Lots of good current guys. Now, at the 3 spot, a team that kind of came out of nowhere this year. I don't remember the Bears ever having a really good theme team. At 10.8 million coins, I think this theme team suffers from a lot of LTDs. Montez Sweat, Allen Robinson, William Perry. There's 3 right there already. The offensive line, we're missing a center, a left tackle, and our guard is an 89, right underneath the tier 3 threshold. We could use a better tight end. And on defense, our corners, how is this the top 3 theme team? I think they just check the boxes. This is a team that really just checks the boxes. What did I rank Jalen Johnson as? And another thing is when you go look at this, if you're going to look at this spreadsheet and you have any criticisms, it's a lot of numbers and it's looking at a lot of cards. So if you have any criticisms or anything you think he should be a tier 3 guy or he should be a tier 2 guy, let me know, because any of that definitely helps. I want to make sure that this is up to par. You know, I want to make sure this is as good as possible. So the Bears, Jalen was a tier 1. That's fair. That's fair. 91 speed, 91 zone. I mean, he's not a terrible card. He's 100K, affordable. Does he get pick artist for 2? He'll make plays on the theme team. He'll make plays on a 50 out of 50 theme team, but he's not really he's on the threshold of almost being unusable. We've got Montez Sweat, linebacker and receiver, because they're just doing the duplicate thing this year with Vic, Montez Sweat, Randy Moss, Julius Peppers. Kind of annoying, but I mean, they're good cards. So at the end of the day, it is just a player build with a name. It's not it's whatever. For the number 4 spot, we have 2 theme teams that are tied. The first team being the Atlanta Falcons, a really solid theme team. We've got 390 plus overall offensive linemen. Chris Hinton dropped today. Tony Gonzalez, probably the best tight end in the game. Receivers, check all boxes. Todd Gurley and Vic and Patterson, all good running backs to choose from. Michael Vick, quarterback, is going to be really good. And then on defense, they squeak by with a lurk artist on foreseeable. Aloakun. Not entirely sure on that one. The corners, we've got 2 good corners, Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders, which I only graded 2 corners. So that's kind of like a gray area with the 3rd corner. You could be using 6'1", or you could be using dollar. You know, I don't know. So I just graded the basics. But this is tied for 4th. The Falcons theme team, not too shabby. And the other theme team tied for 4th is going to be the Seattle Seahawks, still with Warren Moon. Outside of that, I like Jake Bobo over Tyler Lockett. 94 speed on the theme team. If you get 0 chill, I don't think you can, but Bobo, Rice, and Largent are a good receiving core. Jimmy Graham. However, a cheaper theme team without taking down some of the LTDs and replacing them, only 7 million coins. So affordable for a top 5 theme team. Tariq Woolen, Richard Sherman, good corners. This is probably one of the best budget theme teams. You could probably get that price inside of 6 mil. If we take down Sherman's LTD and give a discounted card, yeah, that's 2 million right there. Still 686 coins, but we're down to inside 5 mil just by replacing a couple cards and taking out backups. So Seahawks theme team, extremely affordable. Typically one of the more fun theme teams to use because you get DK upgrades and Marshawn Lynch upgrades. Seattle tied for 4th with 21 points. We're looking at the last 2 teams in the tier 3 subgroup. Tied for 5th, the Titans and the Ravens. Definitely an expensive theme team. Lamar, Odell, Deshaun Jackson, Deion Sanders, Sharp. Offensive line could use some help. We're really close to tier 3 with an 88 and an 89, but not quite over the 90 overall threshold that I gave. Defense, Hamilton, Ray Lewis. I mean, yeah, the defense is pretty solid. Could use some corner help. Definitely could use some corner help. I mean, this is one of the best teams currently in the NFL. Just stomped out the 49ers. So, team of the year, expect a lot of Ravens. Playoff cards, expect Ravens. The Ravens are definitely one of the more expensive theme teams, but hand in hand with some of the best. And then who was the last team we want to look at? The Titans. So Titans tied for the 5th place ranking with no tight end. So another team, dude, Chris Johnson. Oh, I want this card so bad. Dude, CJ2K. Oh, man. What a beast. And 13.2 mil coins probably isn't accurate. You've got 2 LTD running backs in here. You got an LTD quarterback. Just by taking out those 2 cards, we're at 10 mil, which is still a lot, but definitely not as bad. Offensive line, they do have 390 overall, so that's going to be a tier 3. Just got Jack Tatum at safety, which helps. Randy Moss at corner, Dory Jackson. Javon Curse, I still think, is one of the best rushers in the game, whether he's playing defensive tackle or edge. Tier Tart is a big boy, run stopper, with actually decent stats. 87 block shed. I mean, for a, scrap 90, he could probably make plays stopping the run. Just no inside stuff is going to hurt. So you got some solid players in important positions with the Titans theme team. Like, let's just say you built this team and you were like that with the coins. You got Tony G, brings up the offensive overall. Let's go. So we don't have a fullback. So you put a Koi in there, 91 overall. So Titans theme team tied for top 5. Now we're going to look at some of these subcategories. If you want to look at the rest of the rankings, you can either pause the video or just click the link and view this spreadsheet on your own time. However, these subgroups inside the subgroups, within the subgroups, are some fun little categories I did where I took the ratings of quarterback, receiver, tight end, and configured the best passing teams, or best running team is running back and offensive line, best lockdown team, cornerback, safety, and lurk artist, pass rush team is defensive tackle and edge, fastest team, receiver and corners, best trenches, O-line, D-line. So some cool things. If you're a runner, then you should probably consider building 49ers, Browns, Colts, Falcons, Lions, or Titans. If you want a really good defense, you're kind of him on offense, but defense needs some help. Panthers secondary is really good. And I'll just give you a visual example rather than me talking. So like I mentioned, the Panthers secondary being really good. If we look at their defense, you've got Jeremy Chin, Julius Peppers, Tillman, Henderson, Douglas, Hassan Reddick rushing the passer even. Peppers, I'm pretty sure you can use both of these cards. Although, I think you can. I think it's like that this year where you can use different cards. Because I've seen people running around with Henry at quarterback and running back. And similar with Vic at running back and quarterback. But, I mean, you got a lurk artist, Luke Kuechly. Still a little bit outdated, but he still gets lurk artists. He's still going to animate. So you can see why this is the best secondary in the game out of all theme teams. And then let's say you want more of a budget team with a good pass rush. We're going to look at the Texans. The Texans rushers are insane. We've got Will Anderson, Vince Wilfork, Sheldon Rankins, Greenard, J.J. Watt, Mario Williams. You get, what is that? 6 guys to choose from? That could be your 6-1 defensive line right there. Although I think you need outside, whatever. 6 guys, Or if you're a trench guy at heart, I'm not. I'm sure some people aren't, but maybe you are. If you want the best trenches out of all the theme teams, offense and defensive line, we're going to look no further than the Commanders with a stout O-line. Moses, Scherf, Gates, Grimm, Williams. I mean, that's insane. They just don't have a quarterback or a running back. But still, you could go 25. Maybe you want to go 25-25. That's actually a good idea I didn't think of. If you want the best trenches and the best passing team, go 25 Commanders, 25 Falcons. Or Ravens. And then we look at the D-line. You got a Rakpo. You got Montez Sweat. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Bruce Smith. And Bruce Smith is due for an upgrade. Bruce Smith is always due for an upgrade. And you get Sean T. That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. And Much EG can do it for you. If you go my theme team, change theme team, I'm on the Zero Chill tab right now. Say we wanted to go Falcons and Commanders. Let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at what this spits out for us. Yeah, wow. Offensive line is insane. No, this team is nuts. It's expensive, but this team is solid. This team will be really good. And obviously, it says 19 mil, but are you going to use Vernon Davis and Tony G? No. Are you going to get Lincoln Kennedy as a backup? No. Are you going to use Vic and Gurley? Probably not. You could. You can use Andreed as a backup? No. You want Montez Sweat? I mean, probably with the Commanders theme team. But if you just go like that, substitute players, put in some free players, like we could put Eric Berry here and so on and so forth. You can chip and even with Asante Samuel, they have his LTD version and not his Redux, which is, over 100,000 cheaper. And you can kind of chip away at this price point. Use this only as a mild reference. Don't say, damn, I can't build this team with 16 mil. You can get a lot of solid pieces for probably 5 mil and then build from there, you know, because some of these teams are just going to take, you know, a month to build, or you're going to have to work the market and build at the same time. But that's what we've got going for us with the theme team rankings. Hopefully you guys appreciate this little mini database. Getting this as a website would be sick. But this is our little database. I'll update it once a week, and we'll post a video at the end of the week, Saturday or Sunday, probably after Legends drop. But yeah, expect one of these after Legends drop every Saturday moving forward. And we'll be able to look at the updated rankings and how these teams move and how these teams shake out. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, please let me know down in the comments. I appreciate all feedback, and I'll make changes accordingly or not. But yeah, that's really all I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That being said, Jock signing out.